Welcome back then to the National Futsal Series hosted here at the Repton Sports Centre. Already today our hosts Derby have won. They beat Liverpool 9-4 over on the TNT Sports Red Button channel. I'm delighted to say, joining me alongside now for commentary, the head coach of Derby, Matt Hardy. Matt, you must be delighted with the victory earlier this morning.
Well, guys, yeah, really happy. really happy. Back on being 4-2 down, it was a real big thing for us, and yeah, hopefully managed to show what we can do on the TV cameras and in the eyes of the futsal world.
Well, here come the two teams then for this next game. Bolton taking on Southampton Aztecs as attention turns to the Tier 1 teams. Rebecca Foster there leading her Bolton side. She is the captain of this player-coach-led Bolton team. Laura Tobin taking on that role. Let's show you how the two teams line up then. For Bolton, they have Joy Lowe in goal, Lila Booth, Rebecca Foster, Kerry Sampson and Laura Tobin are the starting five. The three substitutes that begin the game on the substitutes bench at least: Emily Hutton, Jade Bolton and Kirsty Corral. As for Southampton, Mo Delaney is the starting goalkeeper today. Emmy Maidment, Laura Barton, Hannah Walker and Rebecca Tonks make up their starting lineup. The substitutes: Davina Allo Ilolo, Rebecca Moody, Kaylee Tonks is back for Southampton, Nicola Curtis and Beth Anderson make up their 10-player squad. Will Wilson is, of course, the man in charge of the Aztecs. So, Matt, looking forward to this game, I presume. What are you expecting from it?
So, yeah, really looking forward to it. I think us, like everybody, Bolton are one of the real strong favourites to get into the later stage of the playoffs this season, and I think everybody expects them to be too strong for Southampton in this one. However, it will be about them having discipline. It will be about them having that desire. It will be about them playing with the quality that they have, because we've seen, especially this season so far, Southampton have learnt from the tough tests that they've had and the tough lessons that they've faced, and have become a really tough side to break down. With Mo Delaney in goal as well, they have a goalkeeper who, for me, is one of the very best in the country. In fact, you'll see two of them on show in this game today. But she's somebody who can turn a game for them.
Yeah, well, the match officials, by the way, as we just got a shot of them there, are Harvey Newstead and Matt Bruffel. This one now looks set to get underway. And it's going to be Southampton in the red then to get the ball rolling at the start of this first 20-minute period. And I would expect there to be plenty of goals so far this season in what has been such a successful start to the campaign for Bolton. They've beaten Hartbury 7-4, drew 2-2 with Bloomsbury, beat London Helvetia 4-1, before then drawing 2-2 in a game against Birmingham, which they'll feel that they really should have won. They were 2 goals up until right at the very end of that one, Bolton. It could well have been another 3 points for them that day. They'll be looking for the 3 points here, though, as we are underway. And it's Bolton in the black, attacking the goal to the left of the picture as we look at things in this first period.
What's really interesting with Bolton is they had a really difficult summer. I don't know how well it's been documented really in terms of the public eye, but what they've managed to do is sort of galvanise, and the experience of Sampson here added to the squad, Tobin, the player coach, Kirsty Corral, alongside that youth and quality that they have with the likes of Layla Booth and Joy Lowe. Been real joy to watch, hasn't it? And they're a side who like to play on the front foot, like to be really aggressive when they haven't got the ball, and then when they do have it, they play with a quality and a purpose that really epitomises what that club is all about.
Bolton here in possession. Laura Tobin, the player coach, unable to find a teammate with that attempted threaded pass though. Time for the kick in over on the far side. Immediately we can see Southampton setting up in their half-court defensive structure, opting for that defensive style. We heard from Will Wilson pre-match saying that he feels his side will have to soak up a lot of the pressure from Bolton in possession today and then look to hit them hard on the counter-attack. They're trying to do that here. Barton with the final touch though. It's out for the Bolton kick-in.
it's one of them for Southampton, isn't it? It's tried and tested. It's what they almost need to do most weeks, and we've seen so much from them. It's important that they keep their strongest side on court when they're doing this, and they have to be really disciplined with it. The other side of it, though, is they're going to have to make sure that when they do win the ball back and on transition, they're really, really clinical, and they make sure that they're killing moves. Because what they don't want is Bolton coming back the other way and end up running up and down the court, because that will tire them out really quickly.
Out once more for the Bolton kick in again. Nearly 2 minutes played. Neither side have created an opportunity on goal as of yet. Here's Sampson with the setback there for Nora Tobin. Foster across to Booth. Booth stepping inside. Disrupted though well. Foster with the ball forwards once more. It's all Bolton possession here early on. Nice ball to pick out Booth again in search of Tobin. It was well cut out though by Curtis, who was well positioned. But Southampton unable to maintain possession for long, and Bolton have it back again. Really scrappy moment, but Southampton do that time come away with possession. Here's Rebecca Tonks. Barton all the way across, but it's just behind the runner.
Yeah, really good from Bolton, I think. They know that Southampton are going to sit deep. They have to be patient with that. They're not going to win the game in these early stages of it. But what they do need to do, that you can lose a game in those stages. So it's important that you don't get frustrated. You keep doing the right things, and the message is we keep trying, keep probing, and eventually something will come. It's very similar to what happened to us this morning. We felt that we created a lot of chances first half. The goalkeeper was exceptional for Liverpool, I thought, and was probably the best player on court in the first half of that game. And we just knew that we had to keep creating chances, and eventually something would drop, and that will be what the message from the Bolton team will be today.
Barton there under pressure, facing back towards her own goal.
Fantastic ball.
Yeah, did well to find the pass there to
As is that.
the run of Hannah Walker.
And that's really important, as we were saying earlier, Isaac. For Southampton, whatever they do, when they go forwards, when they cross the halfway line, they have to make sure that they kill the move. By that, what I mean is that they cannot allow a transition against them. So they're better off with that happening, where the ball goes out of play, than allowing Bolton the ball to come back at them when they're out of position. Have to be really disciplined with that, and make sure that they make things count every time.
Long throw out from the goalkeeper there, Mo Delaney, who's taken on the #1 role given the injury to Lauren Saylor.
There is Lauren Saylor, as you talk about her. I know you're speaking to Will. I'm currently studying my UEFA B with Will at the moment, and speaking to him about that, he was really disappointed to lose Lauren, because she's such a key element of how this Southampton team have learned to play, that bravery that they played with, and almost sometimes a little bit over exuberance, wasn't it?
Maybe an opportunity here for Bolton. Oh, it's past the goalkeeper and it's in. And it's the game's first goal. It's Kerry Sampson. And Bolton do get the early breakthrough, 1-0.
And it's a fantastic goal, isn't it? Sampson's just got the wrong side of a Marker Walker there, and Mo Delaney tries everything, and you see here, just this shot, it almost wrong foots her, doesn't it? It's just that toe poke shot, and she just couldn't quite get enough of a contact on the ball. Really unfortunate for the keeper, but a great goal for Bolton. And all of that possession, all of that pressure they've put on, that is a just reward for that, and that patience that they've played with. Really experienced player, Sampson, a really good addition to this team, because sometimes I felt last season with just Corral and Tobin and a lot of young players around them, they just lack that little bit of know-how sometimes in games to go and win a game almost. And what Sampson adds is a winning pedigree. She's played previously for Cheshire and Wrexham, played a lot of games at this level, and really helps. You just see her just like in these situations, happy to come backwards, happy to keep the ball turning over, keep the ball working left to right, and almost allows other players to go and play.
Bolton still here, maintaining possession and dictating play in doing so. Corral looking for the longer option in search of Booth that time. Goal clearance goes short. Walker has given the ball away though, and it's not the kind of area that you want to be losing possession.
Really important for Southampton, as you say, that they don't lose possession in those areas. Make sure that they're clearing their lines almost with that, and making sure that don't take any risks. You're 1-0 down. It's really hard as it is with the way that they sort of set up to play. They'll be disappointed to go 1 down early on in the game, but if they're gonna lose the ball, it must be in areas that they can't be punished.
Still inside the opening 5 minutes, Bolton leading by 1-0. Kerry Sampson, the scorer of it. She has the ball now. Hutton just with the miscontrol. Managed to keep the ball in play when at one stage it didn't look likely. There's Sampson moving forwards again.
It's a fantastic ball. And it's really good defending from Kaylee Tonks as well, because she has to read that pass. She has to be defending that pass in line, because Kirsty Corral is looking for that second post run, wasn't she? And really good again from Bolton.
Hutton there takes back to Corral. Just with the side-footed effort, but it was wayward of the target. Southampton immediately looking to try to turn defence into attack, but it's all the way through to the goalkeeper, and a first involvement, I believe, for Joy Lowe in the Bolton goal. I'm sure she'll be pleased if she remains a spectator for the large majority.
I don't know, goalkeepers are a strange bunch, aren't they? You'd think so, but a lot of them sometimes. I know Caitlin Forrester this morning for us, probably more involved than she wanted to be first half, but then in the second half had nothing to do and came off almost saying that yeah, I think she enjoyed seeing what she was seeing, but yeah, they certainly like to be involved. I don't get it personally. I'd be quite happy to stand there and do nothing if it was me, but it's really difficult as well. Let's be honest. When you're going to have stages where you don't have a lot to do. Just pause a second. Good
Corral there just looked as though she might find the space to shoot from, but that potential avenue of attack was quickly closed down. There was a foul in there as well, which went the way of the Bolton free kick. So the foul going against Southampton. It's the first of the game.
Yeah, I think I'd just like for Barton there, as she's come forward over halfway, just be a little bit more positive, be willing to drive into that space and look to
very close as Tonks sent that to Kaylee Tonks. It was Rebecca Tonks to Kaylee Tonks at the second post, and well, just an inch or two away from making a proper contact. It was a nice set piece, and perhaps it might be a set piece that might prove to be the route to goal or back into the game for Southampton. That was mightily close.
It's a fantastic ball, isn't it? And really, really unlucky.
Corral here to Hutton. Back to Kirsty Corral again. But she, uncharacteristically, misfires.
It's a really good move from Bolton. Quickly turning defence into attack. We see lovely underlapping run here, and then has the know-how to find Kirsty Corral again. And yeah, you'd bet on her scoring there, wouldn't you? Really unfortunate. They're away again here.
Corral options both sides, utilises that right wing area. It's not the follow-up ball that Jade Bolton was looking for, though. Long distribution from the goalkeeper, but it runs all the way out. And Bolton have the kick in.
And there's the first sign from Rebecca Tonks there. A little bit of frustration, where just wants that ball in, just wants to secure that ball. And Southampton probably just have to work hard now just to keep hold of it, keep playing. But a little bit of frustration of the loose pass and it going out of play, and it becomes a really tedious, tiring game when you're defending for such a long period.
Hutton trying to thread the pass, but it was cut out well. Here's Rebecca Tonks. In search of Laura Barton, but not finding her. Again, Bolton have the ball. Hutton advancing over halfway. Hutton forward here. Once more to Corral. Bolton. Now Booth. Corral edging closer to the Southampton goal, but it was not collected by Hutton the way in which she would have liked. Now down the other way, Kaylee Tonks trying to turn defence into attack down that left wing, but she was disrupted.
It's really good from Kaylee Tonks. That drove 20, 30 metres up the court with the ball, gives her team some territory. Now it's just about maintaining that. They've won a corner. Just build a little bit of pressure. What can they get from it? We've spoke already about the fact that it might be a set piece. Can they add some quality in these situations, it might just give them a route back in and just build a little bit of pressure on Bolton.
Yeah, nothing coming of the set piece that time. It was a little bit wasteful in truth in the way in which it was taken. Delaney ultimately giving the ball away there. Here's Corral. Southampton kicking and Southampton change too as Rebecca Tonks just steps off for a moment's breather.
It's quite an interesting one there from Moody, where she seemed to signal for Delaney to come round and create a 5v4 as almost an out of pressure play, and then didn't use it. And I've seen Mo Delaney play, as have you, as have most of our viewers probably, and in those situations it's something they can utilise a lot more. She's a very, very talented player and somebody who they could really turn to get out of those difficult situations.
Tobin there forward to Corral, those two looking to link up as they so often do. Barton though with the ball back. Anderson all the way back to Moody. A little bit of fortune about the way in which it runs through here. Foster using her strength to her advantage. Just too far ahead of Corral, but it will be a corner. Took a nick on its way through. Bolton have this corner set piece. Foster taking it, but it doesn't come to anything. It might still, though. Here's Corral! And it's fired home. Brilliant finish. It was past the goalkeeper in a flash, and Bolton double their lead. 2-0.
So many times in that position, as coaches, we'll talk about players shooting high and shooting into areas that make it really difficult for a goalkeeper. Kirsty Corral here, this is just a moment of brilliance. Firstly, to keep hold of the ball and maintain possession. Secondly, to wriggle away from two players. And then third, with that strike, there is absolutely no chance for Mo Delaney. And that's a real moment of individual quality from Bolton's 22. Now it becomes very, very difficult for Southampton, because with a 2-goal cushion, Bolton have a little bit of breathing space now, have a little bit of time, and here we go again. It's Corral again. Just ran away from her, but they have that bit of breathing space now that they can play with a little bit of composure and just enjoy the game. They play with a little bit less fear. And I think sometimes when you get into this, now how does Southampton turn this game back around? Because ultimately they need to score goals to get back into it. They cannot afford to just defend, which was obviously their game plan early on.
Yeah, still Southampton here at the moment, sitting there low block though, and try to soak the pressure up. Tobin with the touch over the white line. It brings about the Southampton kick in, but it's very much all going Bolton's way so far. 2 goals to the good, and that one opportunity that Southampton created with the ball to the second post. The Tonks sisters on that occasion linking up. Southampton yet to really threaten. Joy Low in the Bolton goal. Here's Foster. Foster pulled the trigger. Wayward. Long dish out from Delaney, all the way through though to the alert opposite goalkeeper.
And that's what she's got to be. She won't have a lot to do in this game, but Joy Low has to be at her best. She has to be alert. She has to be organised all the way through. Nice referee's diet there for Will Patterson. Said that those meal deals at Repton, good value. Can't recommend them enough.
Here's Foster clipping that one forward to Laura Tobin. Tobin asking, pleading for it back. Didn't quite come her way. Bolton top goal scorer heading into today, Laura Tobin. She's now level with Kirsty Corral, given the latest Corral strike. They're both on 11 in all competitions.
Oh,
but there, what a finish that is from Laura Tobin. And she leads the goal scoring charts again. Brilliant finish. Bolton very much in the driving seat, Matt.
This is something they've been trying to do over and over again. They're playing the ball deep into the corners and looking to play the ball back out to their real good strikers of a ball. And what a finish that is from Laura Tobin. Emphatic and almost on cue, Isaac, as you were talking about Kirsty levelling those goal-scoring charts. She makes sure she goes one back in front. Interesting little battle internally in their ranks at the moment. But no surprise to see a timeout here from Southampton, just to reset really difficult couple of minutes. We've conceded the 2 goals. Bolton now fully in the ascendancy, fully in control. Southampton now just have to have a rethink, don't they? They have to look at a way back into this. How are they going to do? What is their objective going to be? Are they going to try and get back into the game, or are they going to keep it in a situation where they keep it respectable? They accept defeat. Do they just try and keep that goal difference down? Because we know, come the end of the season, that could be also important for them.
Yeah, well, certainly problems to solve here. Still early on in the game for Southampton. They've called their timeout here. That timeout minute now complete. Nearly a quarter of the game gone. Bolton leading by 3-0. Kerry Sampson with the first of those. Kirsty Carell with the second. And then the Laura Tobin strike that we've just seen to add number 3.
This game is racing by the way. So we had a 12:45 kickoff, and even on the stop clock here, we're 10 minutes into the half already. I think that really is a sign of how much possession Bolton have had and how much they've kept the ball and just maintained that pressure and that build-up play.
Moody with the strike, goal bound. It was spilt by the goalkeeper to begin with.
And there are those moments. Joy Lowe just has to be alert, has to be at her best, make sure she stays in the game and stays concentrating, because one of those just gives Southampton a foothold, doesn't it? Gives them a little bit of belief. And at this moment in time, Bolton fully in control. Don't want that to happen.
Yeah, here's a replay of that Rebecca Moody strike. It was really a relatively comfortable shot to save for the goalkeeper, but made a little bit of a meal of it, but was able to hold on to it at the second time of asking. Here's Moody again. Bolton have it back again. Booth. Options both sides. Sampson back across again to Tobin. Sampson again. Unselfish there, Laura Tobin in front of goal. I just wonder whether she could have maybe taken the shot on herself.
I think she has to shoot, yeah, as it comes back into her. It's a fantastic move, first of all. Really nice, flowing attack. But once it comes in here, you have to pull the trigger, I think. She'll be really disappointed with herself there, and I'm sure if it was one of her players, she'd be asking them to pull the trigger and shoot a goal.
Foster that time seeing her long-range effort blocked.
I think we have to learn in this country, in those situations, so many times, we're not clinical in that situation, and it's really important that we are, and it's really important that as you step up through the levels, you understand that those kind of chances are the ones that are people's bread and butter. They have to go away.
Tobin here for Hutton.
Just feels like Bolton are going through the gears now, doesn't it? Really starting to up their level and up the pace of the game, and with that breathing space they've created for themselves, you're seeing their confidence start to come through, and their quality as well with it. So this is a really good side that we're talking about.
Rebecca Tonks there, back to Moody. Hutton. Southampton now beginning to step the press higher at the court, and Maidment's won it back. It was a loose ball which presented the half chance there for Southampton. It wasn't fully taken advantage of.
And they're the moments, aren't they, when you're up against it and your backs are against the wall. As with this Aztecs team there, they just have to make sure they get a shot off on goal, I feel, in that situation. Maidment just got the ball and almost caught between two ideas, and I think you have to play with that little bit of confidence and be willing to go through.
Here Southampton breaking forwards though. Moody, well tackled by the recovering Emily Hutton.
I actually think there should have been a foul in that build-up as well against Bolton. Just referees letting the game play, probably keeping one in the bank, but been interesting to see. It probably should be called, I think. And if the game was a little bit closer, they maybe would have. But this is better for Southampton, looking to play on the front foot a little bit more, looking to get themselves into areas that they can go and play. Just have to be a little bit more intelligent with that corner though, and just realise that Laura Tobin has read where that pass is going and left an awful lot of space by cheating almost in behind her. have to find those spaces.
Yeah, well, let's see if the decision-making is more on point this time. They do have another corner from that same side as well. Tonks again returning it back. Moody took a deflection on its way through. Last touch off Sampson.
It's a little bit of a strange routine, isn't it, that? It's 2 or 3 times they've tried to play it, and having right-footed players as well, when you can see that Laura's trying to creep across and try and read that pass and really put pressure on that passing line, perhaps look to play in behind her to the right-footed player and make it a lot easier situation for her to get a shot off on goal. It's just a little bit of naivety from this Southampton team, who, let's be honest, are still very new to the game as well. Only been playing a couple of seasons. And
clipped in there by Tobin. It was parried away by the goalkeeper Delaney. It's out now for the Southampton kick-in, but yeah, very nearly came to something there again for Bolton. Now down the other way, Hayley Tonks yet to really make an impact on this game. Back in the Southampton side, she was such a star performer for them in a very difficult season last campaign, Hayley Tonks, but as I say, yet to really impact the game so far.
It's a difficult one, isn't it, when you're coming back into a team after a period out and suddenly you're trying to almost impact a game. When you're up against it, you're playing quite defensively, you're not going to have much of the ball. The worst situation, isn't it, for her? But we know her quality. We've seen it over and over again, and her and her sister
maybe an opportunity here for Bolton. Good goalkeeping though by Delaney, right out to the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, it's decisive. It's really brave, isn't it? And in that situation, all you can ask for as a coach or as a defending team is that your goalkeeper comes and makes a decision. I always say to mine across the club, in that situation, make a decision. I will back you 100% with whatever it is.
Here's Hutton.
Again,
it's another good piece of goalkeeping. That time the block, the save from the Aztecs goalkeeper Delaney. Really nice give and go. Tobin returning the ball back the way of Hutton, but Delaney in the way.
And you can see they're not disguising it, aren't they, Bolton, now? Something they're really looking to do, something we've seen as a staple of the way that they play over the last couple of seasons, is they will look to get that ball into Laura Tobin quickly, look to play off her, use her qualities. She's quite happy having that ball, receiving that contact almost from in behind and being big and strong and bringing other players in. Probably one of the most selfless players in the women's NFS, I would say.
Here's Rebecca Tonks, just sidesteps past Tobin, all the way across, and it was very nearly an own goal. Good reaction actually from Joy Lowe in the Bolton net to prevent that one from being sent in. The advantage there, which was looking to be played, the whistle was blown, I think, by the near side official, Matt Bruffel.
I think he's actually given it against Southampton, I think, because otherwise there'll be, well, I'm not sure though. Wait and see when we see the bigger shot. Yeah, he's giving it against Southampton.
It was interesting because the referee on the far side, Harvey Newstead, seemed to signal for the advantage for Southampton, but the near side official clearly saw something that the referee on the far side didn't. So there, as you say, Bolton there with the free kick, Matt, which they've taken now.
I think Matt Bruffel there just wanted you to say his name, Isaac. That's what it was. Knows he's on TV.
Here's Tobin. Through the legs of the defender, but only through to the goalkeeper.
Unbelievable feat, hasn't she, Laura Tobin? It's something we've seen so many times. So difficult to take possession away from her. Those situations, that's unlucky. Two sisters just not quite on the same wavelength there, because if Kaylee reads that pass, it's a really good ball from Rebecca Tonks. They're the situations, though, aren't they? Both that Southampton need to take more advantage of, because they're having a little bit of the ball now as Bolton are taking a few more risks.
Strong challenge there, centre court, which wins the ball back for Bolton. They have it comfortably again.
It's one you have to get right, isn't it? As a defender there, as the last line of defence, it's important that you make that and are strong with it. Here we go.
Corral still. It's a really important block because that was goal bound. Laura Barton, though it was in the way.
Perhaps just one that Will Wilson will just have to reset at half-time, is these runners through. Once Bolton are almost bringing that ball deep, the runner through onto the
Still there for
Great
Laura
save.
Tobin, and yeah, it was a good reaction from Delaney. Just as you were speaking there, Matt, but Delaney has taken it upon herself to drive forward with the ball right into the centre circle, ends up back with Lowe. It's all action.
Again, it's really, really good defending from Bolton, though, isn't it? Decided to keep that high line, decided to be nice and aggressive with it, and make a decision to make that challenge. One you have to get right, but they have done. And they're straight back in the ascendancy and in possession.
Here's Hutton.
And I'm not sure here whether... I think the clock is moving. I just think there's a...
Yeah, apologies. I think it's an issue with the scoreboard graphic rather than the in-house venue clock. So just over 4 minutes it is left to play. Bolton leading by 3-0. Hutton there takes a wild swing at it. Southampton are away on the counter-attack though. Corral.
That was just us trying to be like other commentators and look to blame referees there, wasn't it? But yeah, no, don't think it's their fault. We'll let them off with this one. There's just under 4 minutes left in the half. And I think, to be honest, since their timeout, Southampton will be quite happy with the way they've reset. They've looked to get a foothold in the game, looking to move the ball. This is really good from them. And now, what can they do better in these situations? How can they maintain? How can they get some sort of a chance off? That's where it's just letting them down now, isn't it? Final third, maintaining possession, moving the ball well, getting into the final third, and then it's just that next phase, isn't it, that's just letting them down to really go and create something and put some pressure on Joy Lowe, who's, as we said, not had a lot to do, but done what she has done very, very well.
Walker here on the end of the return ball back to her.
It's fantastic defending from Kerry Sampson there, just for a split second. Looked like it opened up.
Walker sets short. Rebecca Tonks was the player to step onto it and strike. Tonks now ends up down on the deck.
Yeah, it's not where you want to be. Top of the court, top of a diamond almost, and lunging in and overcommitting with Kirsty Corral. We know her quality. We've seen it a lot. I think Rebecca Tonks going down there was perhaps more out of embarrassment than anything else. Knowing full well that she had been, the technical term I think is done.
Yeah, and frustration as well, which is clear for Southampton in this first half, given the way in which it's gone so far. It's been a difficult opening nearly 20 minutes now for them. Just over 3 minutes of playing time left. Bolton leading by 3-0. It's all gone Bolton's way. Kick in there, taken backward. Took a touch on its route through. Off Bolton.
Really good pass, wasn't it? Really good probing ball. Can cause problems. Here we go again.
Again, it's set for the strike that time from an area closer to goal, but nothing like the connection that Hannah Walker was looking for. It was always rising high.
Yeah, I think sometimes players just interesting there as Kirsty Corral's cut through. She lost a marker for that split second. If Bolton can take advantage of those kind of moments, I think it's some real joy. Here we go.
Corral again. Southampton have a player down at the moment. The game will now be stopped as the ball's out, but the opportunity was there momentarily for Bolton. If they could have taken advantage of the extra player. Walker just still down as we speak.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit mental fatigue there. Just got beat to the ball and almost bounced off Kirsty Corral a little bit. We know he's very physically very strong, and yeah, Walker just rightly needed a breather. Perhaps goes and takes one, get a drink on board, reset. But going back to that last corner, I think sometimes in the women's game as well, players are still learning the game, and we've seen that with Southampton. I saw it myself this morning with the Derby game. Sometimes we're a little bit on the back foot, waiting for the pass to come back and trying to shoot without going and meeting the ball, and automatically you're leaning back and you're in that situation. I think as coaches we perhaps just need to try and teach players to be a lot more positive, a lot more on the front foot, go and meet those areas, but also not be too deep. That shot was around the sort of third line of the netball court that we see here on the Repton pitch. So the red line, a little bit deep, isn't it, to be really testing one of the best goalkeepers in the country. It's a fantastic ball, Lucky.
Just too far ahead of the run of Beth Anderson there, and we will now see this timeout, given the timeout card, which has just been handed in by the Bolton substitute bench. So not long left now, just a couple of minutes thereabouts until half-time. Bolton, as we've mentioned time and again, Matt, very much in the driving seat. They're in cruise control at the moment. What have you made of the game so far and what we've seen of it, and how do you think Southampton can improve from here on in?
So I think the game's gone as we expected it to go, hasn't it? We've seen a lot of quality from Bolton, clinical when they've got clear chances. Just that one, wasn't it, from Laura Tobin, that perhaps she's looked to pass rather than shoot. But they'll be really happy with how the game's gone. They'll be happy with the situation they find themselves in. For Southampton now, it's about, can they get one? Can they get one back? Can they do something in this game to get a goal back? Because that goal just changes the momentum a little bit, gives them a little bit of a foothold, gives them a little bit of belief, and also just puts an element of doubt into Bolton's minds. And just putting that pressure on them can add something that's a little bit different to what they're experiencing at the moment. It's a long, hard game. We see automatically Southampton coming to press a little bit higher, starting a little bit further up the court. They know they've got to come and get the ball. Then it's these kind of situations now. Can they maintain possession? Can they create a chance? And why not use Mo Delaney? We know her quality. It's a great opportunity.
Nice ball there around the corner. Anderson, though, was unable to control. Do as you say, though, Matt. Wonder whether the use of the goalkeeper, Delaney, may be something that Southampton look to try to build with and see if they can bring her into play. It's been given away there as Foster was left somewhat isolated at the back of the court. Here's Moody. Anderson. Jade Bolton in the way that time, though. Here's Bood now. Foster in a more advanced role than she perhaps usually finds herself.
It was nosebleed territory, wasn't it, for Jade Foster? Really solid fix, but someone who likes to play at the back of the court and certainly wants other players to go and play. Here we go again.
Stepped in to win that one there. Back across again to Foster, and Carell will turn it in on the rebound. Bolton adding number 4, and Kirsty Carell has 2 of them.
Yeah, it's a really well-worked move. That is a fantastic save, 1v1 from Mo Delaney as well. And it's really unfortunate that in this situation, the goalkeeper just has to get something on here and hope that defenders are alert to whatever happens next. It wasn't the defender, it was Kirsty Carell who got there first, and she's not going to miss there, is she? Not with her quality. Really good finish. Bolton in cruise control, and I think in that individual battle, that puts them level again, right?
Yeah, you are right. Yeah, Kirsty Carell and Laura Tobin both now level on 12 goals so far this season. Into the final minute, by the way. 35 seconds of playing time left before the midway points. Hutton with the outstretched leg was able to there intercept. Moody goes for goal. One which the Bolton goalkeeper Lowe would be comfortable saving, though.
It's more like it, though.
Back to the goalkeeper, and it can't go back to the goalkeeper.
2 really good moments from Rebecca Moody there in quick succession. Firstly, the shot a goal. Why not? Why not have a shot in that situation? It's a toe poke strike. It's going to have power. It's high. It's to Joy Lowe's left, and she sees it late. And the second thing is then go and press. They're losing the game 4-0. They're not going to be able to get anything out of it through sitting off. So go and put a bit of pressure on and force an error, which is what they've got. They're in a really good shooting position here with 2 players who we see stood over the ball here as well.
Joy Lowe here, the Bolton goalkeeper, just trying to find a little bit of room for herself, I think, to take charge of the defensive setup. Southampton players need to be metre away from the defensive wall. Rebecca Tonks here stands behind the ball. It's set there for Moody to strike instead. Just no route through the Bolton defence. It will be a free kick though.
Well done. Really good refereeing from Harvey Newstead there, just slowing the game down.
They've got to get the shot away here, Southampton. They do, but it's wayward of the target. And that then will be that really then for the first half. 4-0 to Bolton. It's going to be the half-time score once the goal clearance here is taken. We're already into the final, playing second. So Bolton will have a half-time clean sheet intact as well then, Matt. They've been impressive in this first half.
They have been, yeah, really impressive. Everything we expected from them. Maintained the control of the game, played with a real quality, a real purpose, and have scored the goals that they deserve. Some real highlights, Kirsty Carell's great strike, and the one from Laura Tobin as well, which is a set move that Bolton are clearly looking to play to get the ball into the goal line and then play back out for an early strike. Really good performance.
Yeah, Kerry Sampson with the first. Carell had herself a first half brace as well. Laura Tobin also on the score sheet. There's the half-time score. It's Bolton 4. Southampton Aztecs 0. Welcome back then to the Repton Sports Centre, where at half-time in this National Futsal Series Women's Tier 1 game, it's currently Bolton 4, Southampton Aztecs 0. Let's show you the most important moments then from that first half, a first half which very much went the way of Laura Tobin's side, and questions to answer, problems to solve at half-time for Southampton. That was the opening goal.
Yeah, it's a really good positive play, wasn't it, from Sampson? She picks the ball up. She had one thing in her mind. It's a driving run past Walker, who just couldn't get back, could she? She couldn't get back and get enough of it. And it's a really good early strike, low to Delaney's left, and for her, she'll feel really unfortunate that that contact wasn't quite enough to divert it wide. It's individual quality, though, isn't it, that we've seen from Bolton. This is their second. Driving runs through the middle of the court, a staple of their game. Well, it's not their second, it should have been their second, sorry. And Kirsty Carell, uncharacteristically, shoots wide. This was her bit of quality, though, wasn't it? Wriggling away, and then it's a fine strike right into the top right-hand corner. No chance for Delaney in the goal. I don't know how she's kept hold of the ball here, to be honest. Just really strong, determined play. And I think they messed the set piece up in the first place. But
yeah, it definitely proved to be a little bit off script, didn't it? And they had to improvise as the players, you say, went away from the original set piece, but it was taken advantage of nonetheless. And how about that for a strike as well there from Laura Tobin?
Yeah, it's a fantastic strike. Good celebration as well, but I think this is a real staple of how they've tried to play. They're looking to get the ball into whoever it is. In this case, it was Layla Booth, right on the goal line almost, and playing in and then back out, where they almost bring Southampton back and then play into the space that's been left behind. And they know with the players of the likes of Tobin on court, they've got some real quality to get those strikes away. This is one of the best chances for Southampton. Joy Lowe very nearly spilt that one. Recovered really well. And then this is goal number 4, isn't it? As he bounces free, Kirsty Carell is first to react and makes no mistake at all.
Yeah, Mo Delaney there disappointed with her defence that they weren't able to react quickest, and a little bit of fortune perhaps about the way in which it did break back to Carell, but she wasn't going to miss when presented the opportunity. Matt, how do you see things going in the second half? Do you think there's any way back into this for Southampton, or is it really just a case of damage limitation and try to get out of here with the positives and then build for their next fixtures now?
So I think the message from the coaching staff will be, go and get a goal and see what happens. I think personally that it is damage limitation for them. It's about coming out of this with a little bit of pride and about learning what they can take into the next game. They have to realise they're playing against a very good side here. I think Bolton will be right at the sharp end throughout the season, as they're proving to be already. And it's a really difficult second half for them to manage, because they've almost got to try and get a foothold without losing too many goals and it causing them more problems than they perhaps need. For Bolton, it's got to be more of the same, hasn't it? Probably go through them gears. Can they move a little bit quicker? Can they create a little bit more? And can they punish them?
More of the same then from Bolton in the second half will be the ask of player coach Laura Tobin at half-time there. 4 to the good at the midway point, and the second half is coming up next. Welcome back then to the National Futsal Series. 4-0 to Bolton up against Southampton Aztecs at the midway point, and we are now very nearly ready for the second half then to begin. Bolton in that first period getting the opening goal after just 3 minutes through Kerry Sampson. Kirsty Corral got the second, Tobin the third, before Kirsty Corral added number 4 as well. Both Kirsty Corral and Laura Tobin now on 12 goals for the season in all competitions. You'd imagine it might be a case of more of the same for them in the second half as well. Southampton will need things to change. Let's see how this second half then plays out. Back underway. Bolton kicking from left to right as we look at things in this second half. Here's Tonks immediately with the opportunity right at the start of that second period. And that would have been the ask, I'm sure, from Will Wilson at half-time to try to at least create something in front of goal. And well, they've done that in the opening 10 seconds, but they haven't taken the chance.
Yeah, what an opportunity was as well. It's a really good chance to at least force a save from Joy Lowe, and she'll be disappointed that she's dragged that shot wide, because they cannot afford to waste those kind of openings, can they? Not in this game, not in the situation that they find themselves in. But uncharacteristic of her as well, to be honest. Rebecca Tonks is a player who, in that situation, you'd expect to hit the target and at least make the goalkeeper make a save.
Ball still in play, Booth allowed to continue. Here's Hutton, back across. Good goalkeeping intervention at the near post area though from Delaney. Here's Tonks again. Forward once more, but just behind the run of Maidment. Trickles out.
Yeah, tough one, wasn't it? Really nice move again. And pass just behind Maidment, just couldn't adjust for it. Perhaps just needs to make that run a little bit wider, give a teammate a little bit of more of an opportunity to find that pass. But there's more positive things from Southampton though. Here we go again.
Tonks here, Moody back across, and Tonks just halted a run. Well, that's by far the best chance that Southampton have created. It really should have been converted. Between them though, Rebecca Moody and Rebecca Tonks, they weren't able to score.
It's a fantastic reverse pass, isn't it, from Moody, and Tonks just has to be in there, and that's a sign of a team that just lacking a little bit of confidence in front of goal, not making those runs, not making those decisions that they perhaps should be making. How many times do you see those squandered in futsal?
It's 2 really big chances at the start of the second half for Southampton.
Just like that, this game could be, and probably should be, 4-2, and that would the heat pressure on Bolton and really change the tide in the game, wouldn't it? Fine margins.
Yeah, Bolton perhaps a little guilty of coming out at the start of the second half thinking that the game's already won. Here's Tonks again, and well, it's into the side netting, the wrong side of the post. It's another huge opportunity squandered for Southampton.
Got to start taking them, haven't they? As you say, really squandered chances now, and they could have had 4 already in this half. Yeah, Bolton really almost a lapse, haven't they? They've had a real lapse of concentration. As you say, probably guilty of feeling as though the game is won, and there's still 20 minutes to go. A lot can change in this, and we're in a situation where they've got to... Sorry, I was just watching what the referee was signalling for then. But yeah, they're in a situation where they've still got to play. They've still got to go and win this game. We said at the very start of the first half, you can't win the game in the first half, but you can certainly lose it. But yeah, in this second, they're going to have to work hard. It's good defending.
Nice give and go there for Southampton in possession, but then the follow-up pass wasn't quite of the same quality. Here's Booth now. Well blocked though by Moody. A much, much better start to the second half for Southampton. A real improvement from what we saw from them in the first period. They haven't been able to make it count. Here's Foster. Tobin back in search of Rebecca Foster again. Bolton ball. Foster does have it now and goes for goal. high and wide. Well, cut out by Foster. Good again there for Laura Tobin. Tonks back to the goalkeeper. Delaney forward. And Southampton have built through out of the initial pressure there. Here's Maidment. Maidment away from Hudson, but running out of room. It's out of play.
It's much better though, isn't it? Will Wilson will be really pleased with what you've seen. And realistically, as we say, he'll be trying to convince these players that they can get a foothold back in this game if they were to score. Whatever happens, he would know himself that it's probably damage limitation at this stage. But from what they've done so far, they've been the team in the ascendancy. They've created chances. If they'd have taken one of those chances, two of those chances, completely changes the game. Who knows what could happen? But one thing can lead to another, can't it? And he has to keep his team spirits high and keep them probing, because at the moment they're the team that look most likely to score.
Certainly are. Here's Moody. Very much the pressure on the Bolton goal. We played nearly 3 minutes of the second half, and Southampton have created far more in these 3 minutes than they did in the entirety of the first 20 in that first half, by way of opportunities on the Bolton goal.
I think that's 6. Okay, that's a half chance, but that's at least 6 efforts on goal already in this game, in this half, from Southampton, which is I'm struggling to remember 6 altogether in the first half. You know, where real notable ones anyway, and these have all been really good chances, haven't they? Much better, much more improved Southampton performance. But it's no surprise to see Kirsty Corral back on court.
Corral there winning it back. Here's Tobin, who was fed by Corral.
I was about to say to you before, at the last kick in, I would expect her to come into court just to add a little bit of control for Bolton again. Just a little bit of intelligence, game management perhaps needed. Can't afford to be in these situations too often.
Rebecca Tonks here. It looked 2v1 for a split second. Here's Moody.
Oh, it's a great ball. Really good defending. It's a really good idea from Moody. She's had an exceptional game, actually.
Tobin that time robbed of possession.
Can't afford to let runners go like she just did there, though. Rebecca Moody has to do the hard work the opposite way around as well. It's much better, isn't it? They'll be much more pleased with what they're seeing.
Kicking there, taken backward, and the goalkeeper here is forward into the attacking half. Delaney goes for goal. Lowe opting against the long-range full-court strike.
Yeah, I think that's a good decision from Joy Lowe. Just keep possession, take the sting out of the game a little bit, and just get Bolton back on the ball. If you go back to the other end and it goes wrong, you're just giving Southampton the ball back, aren't you? And sometimes it's just the right thing to just slow the game down and try and go again. Enrique Guillen there. Helvetia, nice to see him in attendance in the building, cast an eye over what's going on here. I'm sure he'll be interested in learning a lot about Bolton.
Tobin there with the setback. Here's Hutton now. Bolton just looking to restore the control that they had about the game in the first half that evaporated away from them at the start of the second period. Hannah Walker there back on for the Aztecs. Kicking that time taken directly back to Delaney. She there though has presented it straight away to Corral. The advantage being played well by the referee. Tobin tried to improvise and able to get the shot away in the end. Now Sampson. Smashed clear out of play by Hutton, and the accumulated rolling foul will be added to the count.
Bolton's best passage of play in this half, wasn't it? half chance, didn't quite run. Again, Laura Tobin probably trying to be unselfish, looking for Kerry Sampson. And perhaps she should have got control of that and taken a strike herself. But here comes Southampton.
Opportunity here for Southampton all the way across. Kaylee Tonks just rolls it through the legs of Kerry Sampson that time, but it's a comfortable collection for the goalkeeper. But it came about after Tobin was guilty of just over-pressing a little, which gave the space behind her for Delaney to exploit.
Again, she starts really high, doesn't she, Laura Tobin, looking to put pressure on the fix. So if Southampton could be smart about that, they can, with one or the other, one of Delaney or the fix, can look to play out.
Flipped forward there, looking for Curtis. Bolton have it back. Tobin just couldn't quite be caught before crossing the line, just had a little bit too much pace behind it. Deep Southampton kicking again, and once more the goalkeeper is out of net. Again, it's loose from Tobin. It's just got a little bit sloppy from Bolton's point of view since the restart. A few aspects that they'll look to tidy up.
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because you're in a situation where just pause because of a good opportunity. Oh,
Delaney's given the ball away. It's a poor pass from the Southampton goalkeeper. As you say, they did well to make amends for the earlier error. Here's Delaney now. Sidesteps the pressure of Tobin but loses out. Here's Carell. And the goalkeeper is backtracking, but still the opportunity is there. Carell wants more. Runs all the way across for Sampson. It's wide of the target in the end, but it was the error from the goalkeeper that brought about the chance.
And perhaps we're seeing there why Will Wilson opts not to use Mo Delaney in exactly the same way that he uses Lauren Taylor, because she clearly has quality on the ball. She's clearly a good player, and letting these runners go again, just completely switched off there.
Sampson might be in here all the way across. It's a foul. It's inside the penalty area, and it will be a spot kick for Bolton.
It should be a spot kick, but it looks as though he's given a free kick.
This free kick's going to be given.
Never look at it.
It's definitely inside the area. The signal was for a foul against Hannah Walker.
He's given a free kick though.
Yeah,
Just
kick.
outside.
Inside the area, wasn't it, Matt? You've seen what I saw.
Yeah, I think when Bolton see that one back, they'll be feeling a little bit aggrieved that they've not got the penalty, but good opportunity nonetheless. And what I will say, decisive refereeing. He quite clearly, Matt Bruffel has made a decision, hasn't he? But yeah, for me, definitely a penalty. See what they can conjure up from this. I've seen them use this set piece before, almost like the second wall that they form, and then it splits. And the whole idea is to try, I think, and take the wall behind it with them, or at least get them to part. And yeah, as you see, clearly inside the area. Sure, if the game was a little bit closer, there'd be a much bigger problem there, let's say, but
yeah, might have been a few more complaints to the near side official, Matt Bruffel, as well, but on we go with the game.
I think in that situation, I don't think Bolton fully, and this is probably the downside of the player-coach model, where Laura's on court, and I don't think Bolton have probably fully realised. She's taking that from the wrong line, yeah, from the sub-box line. I don't think Bolton fully realised just where the foul had taken place, and we're just sort of in a situation where they were happy with the free kick, and disappointed that Kerry Sampson hadn't scored, perhaps, but
back across and just too far ahead of the run of Carell that time. Once more, it was Tobin and Carell looking to link up again. A couple more changes for Southampton as they intend on keeping things fresh.
A couple of players I think we've seen for the first time as well. Curtis certainly hasn't had many spells, if any, on court so far. Probably testament to the level of the opposition that they're playing against, but we've seen Curtis play a few times.
Curtis with the opportunity here, and it's back again to Nicola Curtis. Didn't get enough bend on the follow-up strike at all.
Yeah. You know, I've been really impressed with Southampton in the second half so far. They're looking to play. They're playing with a quality. They're playing with a bravery, and they're playing with a level of enjoyment, right? And I think that's the big thing that sometimes we miss is in these situations. Ultimately, these are all amateur players. They're players that are playing this because they enjoy playing this. It's a silly challenge, yeah. No surprise to see a book in there. Ball out of play already. No need to do it, and just endangering Rebecca Tonks, isn't it? It's one that perhaps I know referees have been told this week they need to clamp down on, so I'm not surprised to see Harvey Newstead issue the yellow there. Ball out of play, so it was always only going to be that, but if you take another look at it, you're just asking for problems, aren't you, really?
Yeah, it was a late challenge, not a nice one, as Rebecca Foster becomes the first by caution.
Great
Here,
play.
Delaney might be in. Goalkeeper denied by goalkeeper.
Decision making, though, from Delaney to stay high in that situation, get back into your goal nice and quickly. Because, and I think going back to it's a point I think I got cut off earlier when I was making it. It's that youthful exuberance almost of her that's probably the reason they don't play it more. We know Lauren Saylor's experience and someone who is so reliable for them. And perhaps Mo, as good a goalkeeper as she quite clearly is, and as talented as she is, and it's one where she just has to know in those situations what she needs to do next. And it's just that decision making, isn't it?
Walker there forward into the feet of Rebecca Tonks. Held up though by her opposite number 10. Left on the line for Maidmans, all the way across, and Southampton do eventually in this half, given the opportunities that they've created up until this point, find the net. Nicola Curtis with the finish, and it's 4-1.
And they thoroughly deserve that goal, don't they? They've been exceptional since half-time, created a number of opportunities, and I think, if anything, they'll be disappointed that it's taken them 9 minutes to get one. It's a really well-worked set piece. Rebecca Tonks coming off it, and you know what, Nicola Curtis, I think this is her first spell on court, but she's been really impressive and really positive, really deserves that goal for those moments. Okay, game on. Let's see how that changes things.
Yeah, Nicola Curtis, the scorer, has come on in the second half and made a bit of an impact. It's perhaps surprising that she was left on the bench in that first half, given the fact that she's not really an inexperienced player. She played for the large majority of last season on the Southampton side, but left off court in the first half today. That's been given as a foul. And if Southampton can get another goal back quickly, then you just never know.
Yeah, never do. I'm really surprised Curtis hasn't played more. It makes you wonder whether there's an illness or she's been carrying an injury or something, because she's someone who's been a mainstay of the team, isn't she? And as you say, experienced and has played with a real quality when she's come into the game today.
Taken short here for Rebecca Tonks. Into the penalty area she goes. Again, Delaney is forward, and it's an unorthodox style of fly goalkeeper.
Referees in Southampton no favours there with where that free kick was taken. I actually think he's got the position wrong on court. It was much more central, which was an opportunity, a shooting opportunity for them, whereas where they actually took it from was a lot wider and just had to be one that they worked.
Pounced upon that time by Delaney, back in the regular goalkeeping position, where she'll remain, having started this particular in-possession move. Maidment on the turn, just caught as well. Flip of the heels, perhaps. There was definite contact.
Was, and pressure just starting to build on Bolton a little bit now. 3 fouls, obviously can only get to 5, as we know, before there starts to be 10-metre penalties, but have to keep going.
Yeah, Bolton do just need to be careful that that foul count doesn't continue now to creep up into the penalty area then again. Rebecca Tonks, Corral though on the turn. There's an option to the right as well, which is Jade Bolton now. That's against the woodwork.
And almost as a reminder there, Kirsty Corral just shows you her quality, shows you her experience. Firstly, as she wriggles away from Curtis there, used her body really well to shield the ball. And then she drives forward with a purpose and a real deliberateness to how she was looking to play. finds the pass, and Jake Bolton really, really unfortunate.
Yeah, just a whisker away from restoring Bolton's once intact but no longer intact 4-goal advantage that they had at half-time. Walker there with the kick in. Delaney not able to find anybody in red. And there will here be a timeout called then by the Bolton bench. So 4-1 then, Matt. We've spoken about the improvements of Southampton in this second half. What's gone wrong in the sense of losing a bit of control in the game for Bolton, do you feel?
I think they are probably in a position where they've come into the second half feeling like they've already won the game, and I think by being in that position, it's not cockiness, it's probably the wrong word, that, but it's a situation where they feel as though they were in control and they've taken their foot off the accelerator, and just by dropping slightly, they've allowed Southampton a foothold, and then they're now really struggling to recover that, aren't they, where they're struggling to come back out of that the opposite way. They have the quality in their ranks. We look at some of the players on screen at the moment: Tobin, Layla Booth, Kirsty Carell, Kerry Sampson. They're players that have experience, have played a lot of games at this level, and can turn the screw on again. I do feel, though, the next goal is going to be really important. If Southampton were to get it, Bolton are in a situation where the pressure's really on them. It could cause them more problems. If they get it themselves, though, I think you'll see them settle down and really run away with it. Here we go.
Corral in search of that next goal, which seems as though it's on the horizon. You'd expect there to be more goals from here on in. Corral firing that one all the way across. Sampson with the effort on goal. It was blocked away with the header from Moody.
Yeah, Kirsty has fired that one in, hasn't she? But certainly from a coaching perspective, you'd ask her to. Players at the top level of the game in this country for futsal and should be able to control that kind of pass. And you're better off firing it across goal and across court and the ball going out of play than under hitting one that gets intercepted. So
taken short there, back to low. Loose pass.
I think it sums Bolton up this half, doesn't it? Decision making seems to have gone. Not making smart decisions, not making decisions that are benefiting them in any way, and just really passively finding their way through the game. I'm sure they'll be really disappointed when they watch this one back of how they've approached the early stages of this second half. Still, the damage was done, and it gives them that foothold and that cushion, which they'll be really fortunate about now.
All the way across, and well, Kaylee Tonks just couldn't quite sort her feet out in time. Just stumbled in the end.
Bizarrely, I think it's a really good breakaway again. Great decision from Rebecca Tonks. Finds Moody, who's been exceptional in these sorts of positions, and yeah, as you say, couldn't sort her feet out and almost went with the wrong foot in the end.
Corral again here, bearing down on goal. It's a good stop though from Delaney. And keeps Southampton in with a shot.
It's a fantastic stop from Mo Delaney, because this was the moment, wasn't it, that we just not long spoke about. Great opportunity, probably with Bolton's best player on the day. Kirsty's been exceptional. Mo Delaney stood tall, made a fantastic, brave save. And a team will be really happy with where they're making Bolton play in their own defensive third, which I think is a real testament to how they've approached this half.
Corral at the back of the court now. Making that run right through the middle, and she's on the end of the return ball too. Asking for the corner, and she is going to get it. Set piece then here for Bolton. She's taken back now to Hutton. Hutton getting her toe to it in the resultant phase of play, but it ran behind. Just under 8.5 minutes, but the pressure now is beginning to mount again on the Southampton goal. Since the timeout, really, which has worked from the Bolton point of view. Tobin, Hudson. Can she get the shot away? She can, but it was blocked. Hudson again, seeing her follow-up effort blocked too. Now Tonks. Anderson, it is, I beg your pardon. Breaking away down court. Didn't come to anything.
No, it's really good defending again. Really good covering from Kirsty Corral, wasn't it? Who's just held a position, waited for that sort of loose touch, and then just nipped in and made sure that the ball just ran out of play harmlessly. You're right, Bolton have used that timeout well for me and put themselves in a good position. Just having that control back in this game was really important for them, wasn't it? Of course, we forget, probably should have had a penalty, but...
Sliding challenge there from Hutton.
She got to make
the ball. Had to, didn't she? It was a risky challenge.
It's a fantastic challenge, to be honest, because she's one she has to get right, and if she doesn't get it right, she's in all sorts of trouble.
It's another Bolton set piece. Taken short there, the angle was acute. It's another stop to add to the tally for Delaney.
But they'll be happy at Bolton with this, because what they are doing is just turning the screw, just putting themselves in a position where they're building pressure again on the Southampton goal, and they'll be much happier at 4-1 with 7 minutes to go, the ball being played in Southampton's defensive third than their own.
Shot from the goalkeeper that time. Anderson can't go back to the goalkeeper.
Just got themselves in a mess there, haven't they? And they actually set up, it was something we were doing first half today, where we kept almost having to go too high too quickly, which is the risk of perhaps trying to play with a fluid sort of, we play with a false pivot, and the risk of that system is that the players are not quite sure who should go, who should stay, and a little bit of naivety.
Set short again, Corral on the follow-up.
Just like that, Bolton have had probably 4 or 5 shots in really quick succession, probably within a minute. And okay, none of them have really, we forced the odd save from Mo Delaney, but more than anything, he's just turned the tide of the game, hasn't it? And now suddenly they look to have got that control back and that playing the game much more at the tempo they'll be happier with a 4-1 lead. It's really good from Corral again, and Booth. Fantastic feat.
Footwork. Back into a central area. It was just taken out of the path of Kirsty Corral that time, though. Corner again. Corral not the execution on the delivery that she was looking for at all.
No, nowhere near the execution. You can see what she was looking for. It was that sort of dink pass to her head coach, wasn't it? It's another good move. Good goalkeeping again from Delaney, but yeah, Kirsty Corral uncharacteristically didn't make good contact, I don't think. It's a save she had to make, as is that one.
Chance there for Tobin, and like you say, Matt, the goalkeeper again with the save.
She's had a really good game, hasn't she? Young goalkeeper, and really highly thought of, been in and around sort of England training programs this season.
And down the other way, Moody. Cut out though by Corral. Tobin's to the right. Here is Tobin, back to Corral.
Wow,
again, it's another outstanding piece of goalkeeping. Still might the opportunity be here though. Booth sets it back. Corral wide of the target.
And again, Southampton living a charm life maybe, but Mo Delaney, exceptional for the last couple of minutes, really called upon. This is a fantastic move, lovely give and go. You'd bet on Kirsty Corral scoring there, wouldn't you? And it's a fantastic save. Just to keep this game at 4-1, but now Bolton really playing with a purpose again.
The overlapping run was utilised, but into the side netting. Last couple of minutes though, it's very much been all Bolton. It seemed for all the world as though they were going to make it 5-1 with that latest opportunity, the one just prior to the effort that we saw into the side netting there and the intervention from the goalkeeper, keeping the score down to 4-1. Southampton in the last 2 or 3 minutes haven't really been able to get out of their own half. Bolton have restored the control that they'd lost, and that will be a pleasing factor for them as well. Here's Bolton for Bolton. Simple collection for Delaney that time. Looking to kickstart the counter-attack. Aloe Lolo is the player on towards the back post area now. Curtis gets the corner.
It's a fantastic pass, isn't it, over the top. Really good touch from Curtis, and then really just killed it too much almost. It was almost too good a touch. But what can Southampton work here? Yeah. Foul given by the referee for the block and the screen, and I think this is something that as coaches and players that we perhaps just don't quite understand that well. As we're developing in this country, to go and make that block, you have to own the space in that screen. You cannot go and make contact. You can't just go and push somebody out of the way. So you've got to own that space, and that means having your feet planted, being in that position that they turn into you rather than you cause the contact.
Brilliantly well done there by Tobin, who found the space. It's back once more for Sampson. Good block though, right at the edge of the penalty area. Maidmans. Curtis now into the final 5 minutes. Still Bolton 4-1 to the good. 4-0 it was, remember, at half time. Sampson cut out though by Aloe Lolo. Delaney there finding Rebecca Tonks. Referee's whistle is blown again. It's brought back for the foul. Southampton will have the free kick. Takes Bolton on to 4 fouls in this second half period. Aloe Lolo turns away from the initial pressure. No room there for Maidment to use though. Bolton. Last touch coming back off Sampson after initially being held up by Maidment. It's out for the Southampton kick-in. 3 minutes 50 seconds now left on the clock.
If damage limitation was Will Wilson's aim at the end of the first half and in his half-time team talk, he'll be really, really pleased with how his team have played in this second half. They've played with a purpose, they've played with a desire, and they've kept the game, kept the score down, haven't they, and played the game at 4-1, and could quite easily, and can quite easily, get more chances from this, I think.
Out for the corner there, Lowe just palming it behind.
You see, puff of the cheeks there from Joy Lowe. She knows this half's been a lot different, hasn't it, than what the first half was.
Poor corner though, it was taken straight to Tobin, really wasteful on that occasion for Southampton.
Yeah, she's not the player you want to be giving the ball away to in that situation either.
Aloe Lolo, that time in the way of Corral. Still to come today, of course, we have 2 more games from the Women's Tier 1. London Helvetia facing off with Hartbury up next. And Hertfordshire Vipers go head-to-head with Birmingham to round today's games off. Here's Booth, and the net is empty. Tobin! And Maidment back on the line, perhaps just did enough. Should be 5-1.
Should be 5-1, yeah. Real let-off for Southampton now. Bolton will be really disappointed they've not taken it. But again, just that almost architects of their own downfall, Southampton. Just poor decision-making on that fly goalkeeper. I'm sure they'll be disappointed with, and it's something they need to continue to work on, because I actually think it's their biggest weapon. I think when they get it right, they play with almost a he isn't traditional fly goalkeeper, is it? So because he's so unique, it does cause problems for people.
Rebecca Tonks. All the way back across in search of Davina Aloilolo. Booths away on the counter-attack.
Walker's done really well there to come across and cover, because Layla Booth had raced away from her marker, hadn't she? And it was in a really good defensive position in the first place that started off that transition almost.
Booth finds the shot in. It seemed a save which Delaney should have made, but very nearly slipped out of her grasp.
He's come through players as well, which has made it difficult for her. But yeah, she'll be pleased, let's say, that it hasn't gone in. But disappointed in herself. I know they put a lot of pressure on themselves, goalkeepers, in that situation to sort the handling out. I give her the benefit of the doubt. He's come through players. Here we go. Good opportunity.
Lolo just unable to really make the most of it, because they seem to have a bit of a 3v2 there as well. Southampton, if they'd have worked it right. Aloilolo steps off and Katie Tonks is back on.
Got to find that return ball back to Rebecca Moody, hasn't she, I think. And
Bolton kick in, not the correct decision.
Yeah, good refereeing. Decisive, clear. Good from Delaney, good decision. She had a really good second half, Mo Delaney. Will be disappointed to have been 4-0 down at half-time, I think. Will feel a little bit aggrieved, because there's not a lot she could have done about any of them. But yeah, the second half, when called upon, she's made saves. She's come and got involved in the game. Okay, decision-making perhaps off a little bit at times.
Here's Rebecca Tonks and just drags it wide.
Frustrated with herself there. She knows her quality. She knows in that situation she should be hitting the target, doesn't she? And yeah, difficult one for the Southampton captain.
Hutton forward there to Booth. Just flicks off her foot and through to Delaney, who will allow it to run all the way out for the goal clearance. .90 seconds to play. Rebecca Tonks. Corral just shepherding it back to the goalkeeper. Losing out that time. Here's Hannah Walker. Walker has given the ball away. Booth. Challenged well, though, by Katie Tonks that time. Here's Booth. Spilt by the goalkeeper, and the chance there for Tobin on the follow-up again, and Tobin does turn it in. Well, it's very much game, set and match for Bolton, 5-1, and Laura Tobin scores again.
Yeah, it's a really good goal. Determination from Laura Tobin. A block there, potentially handball from Rebecca Tonks, a save from Mo Delaney, but she's kept going, hasn't she? And she's found that finish, and you saw it in her face. It's such an important one. Has to find that corner, gives them the goal, gives them that, just that levels this off, and I think that will be that for Southampton now. I think that's what Bolton have needed all half almost, was just to get a goal in this one and just settle themselves back down. As it is, they've rode the game out. They've probably rode their luck a little bit second half, but their first half performance has really won them that game.
Yeah, I'm sure Southampton will be disappointed as well to concede in this second half, given the improvement that we've seen from them, but overall Bolton very much the stronger outfit, as they will be in so many of the games that they play this season, very much title contenders, as we alluded to pre-match. It's going to be another 3 points here for Bolton today. 2 for Tobin, 2 for Corral, and the first of the 5 for Kerry Sampson as well. It's the final 30 seconds. Here's Corral. Bolton looking to add another, and they do. And that's a brilliantly well-worked goal. Booth with the assist, and Carell completes her hat-trick.
And it's a fantastic goal, isn't it? It's a lovely ball down into that corner to Layla Booth. Fantastic return pass, just to the top of the D and to the edge of the area. And Kirsty Carell with a brilliant finish outside of the right foot, almost just guided it into that bottom corner. And that really is game, set, and match.
6-1 then to Bolton. Ball's out of play gives me an opportunity late on, Matt, to ask you for your player of the match.
Yeah, it was almost on cue, really. I think Laura Tobin's been exceptional, Bolton, but I think the real standout was Kirsty Carell, wasn't it? Her experience, her quality has shone throughout, and the finishes that she has made and the hat-trick that she scored have been really crucial for this win.
And so there we are then. The buzzer sounds to bring it all to a close. Bolton, who led 4-0 at half-time, eventually get the job done with a 6-1 victory. And a hat-trick in there as well for the player of the match. You can see there the number 22, Kirsty Carell. Southampton showed a definite improvement in that second half and got a goal back to make it, at the time, 4-1 through Nicola Curtis. But Bolton still had time to add another couple. It's finished here at the Repton Sports Centre, and there's the final score. Bolton 6, Southampton Aztecs 1. Welcome back then to the Repton Sports Centre. We're here in the National Futsal Series Women's Tier 1 game between Bolton and Southampton. There you can see it's finished 6-1 in favour of Bolton, very much deserving of their 3 points to move them to the top of the table, Matt.
Yeah, really deserving of it. They had to ride their luck, didn't they, in that second half, and there was moments there where they really were under pressure, but late on in the game their quality shone through, and Tobin and Corral have come up with goals that were really important for them.
Yeah, well, let's now then head down to Chris Parkin, who is courtside with some post-match reaction.
Laura, your hot form continues. How did you find that game today?
I feel like it was a tale of two halves, really. I think the first half we did brilliant, and then second half, the first 10 minutes, we didn't play what we usually play like. But I'm glad in the second 10 that we did turn it around. But yeah, overall, I think we did all right in the game.
And the girls seem to be playing with a smile on their face. Is that something you brought in this season?
Yeah, obviously banter. No, but we just want to come and enjoy it, and that's been the main focus from the start. We say in training, every week we come, we're just like a group of mates who want to have a good time, really. And the futsal's coming forward, we keep trying to perform in that sense, but we just want to enjoy it, and I think we all are. Are you?
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
I think that shows as well, because obviously off camera at half time you were practicing your goal celebrations. What was behind that goal celebration for the last goal there?
I think we very rarely celebrate our goals, and actually we like to bring a bit of fun on the court, so we just thought we'd put a bit of a fun celebration in.
Yeah, we just want to enjoy it, don't we, really?
Yeah.
And Kirsty, 3 goals today. Must please your performance.
Yeah, it was good. 3 goals. I should have had more, but I'll take 3 goals.
Should have had more.
And how are you finding playing for Bolton this season?
I love it. It's the happiest I've been. I just think playing with freedom and like having fun on court just brings the best out of me.
And you were voted player of the match, Kirsty. So Laura, if you'd do the honours, please. The commentators.
I'm joking. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, girls. All the best for the season.
Thank you.
Well, great to hear there then from both Kirsty Corral and, of course, the player coach Laura Tobin. Both of those today, Matt, instrumental in the Bolton victories. We'll take a look again at the most important moments, the goals from the game. That was the first of them. Kerry Sampson getting things started for Bolton, and it really continued in that same fashion across the course of that first half.
Yeah, and I think a really interesting point in that interview that they've alluded to is that they want to enjoy it. They want to play with the freedom and enjoy themselves on court. And I thought it was a really refreshing interview, actually, because too many times, too many people involved in this sport are getting too hung up on things that are going wrong, things that aren't quite working. And you've seen a team there, and a team quite clearly that are happy playing together, happy just enjoying their futsal, and are winning games because of it. And as you can see here, they're playing a really nice style, which I'm sure, and he texted me earlier on, so I best give him a shout out. Their chairman, Mick Parrish, down in Australia, will be really happy with seeing him from afar. Hi, Mick. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah, and he'll be so pleased with the display that he's seen from his women's team today, as we continue to show you the highlights and the goals from that first period. This was the one which broke back the way of Corral to make it 4 before half-time.
It's a really good save again, isn't it, from Mo Delaney, who we must give some credit to as well, because she was exceptional in the first half, conceded 4 goals, but even more so in the second half, where she has made save after save in crucial moments.
Yeah, that there, the Southampton goal. And credit to the Aztecs as well for the valiant effort that they gave it in the second period, and it really was. And I think with the opportunities that they had prior to that as well, Matt, they had chances to score before that one did eventually hit the back of the net.
It's almost from the whistle, wasn't it, at the start of the second half? They seemed to have chance after chance, and when this one went in, this could have been, then probably should have been 4-3. And that's a totally different game, isn't it? But we see this is the one, this is really, it's late on, he just put the icing on the cake. It's a goal, and you saw what he meant to her, because Layla Booth's done really well. Delaney does well to palm, but she perhaps palmed it into an area that's dangerous, and Tobin just didn't give up on it. She's had one crack, it was blocked, and she's made sure she followed in and put this away. In this situation here, she just played with it. It was a determination to make sure that that ball finished between the posts. Real quality from Kirsty Corral just to round it off. The lovely give and go, it's clever running. Booth with another assist. There's some quality on that finish, isn't there? It leaves the goalkeeper with no chance.
Yeah, lovely goal this one, just to put the icing on top of the cake for Bolton. Past the goalkeeper in a flash, that one, for their 6th. And that ultimately was how it finished. There you can see confirmation of the final score. Bolton beating Southampton at 6-1. Still to come today. You can join us over on the TNT Sports Red Button channel to catch the coverage of London Helvetia, who face Hartbury. That's the next game. You can see the players warming up for that one just in the background of the picture before Hertfordshire Vipers and Birmingham WLV will also go head-to-head to round off today's games. Matt, any closing words before we round off the coverage?
Bolton deservedly top of the league. I think they've shown their quality today. They're playing with a freedom, they're playing with an excitement and an enjoyment that I think is befitting of what Laura Tobin's trying to do. And you heard firsthand from her, didn't you, in that interview? They're just a group of friends who want to go out and play futsal, and it is so refreshing to see a team like that doing so well.
And as you can see there, confirmation, Bolton move to the top of the women's Tier 1 table in the National Futsal Series. And that, at least for this weekend, is where they will be staying, because Bloomsbury are without a fixture for this round of fixtures as well. Bolton very much will be so pleased with the start to the season that they've made, and it's another 3 points for them today too. And well, so in this women's Tier 1 encounter between the North and the South, it's the Northern girls from Bolton who ultimately prevail. Goodbye.